Good morning and welcome back to English Conversation 616. This is chapter 4, the Stream Team. In this chapter we're going to learn about Netflix, YouTube, Spotify and other streaming platforms, and we'll learn how to make recommendations. The objective is to learn how to recommend shows, songs and online content, and how to accept or decline recommendations politely. We'll begin with some warm-up questions. So what streaming platforms do you use the most? What streaming platforms do you use the most? So what streaming platforms do you use the most? I use the most. I use Netflix the most. I use YouTube the most. We're talking about the most, which is the most often. So we're talking about your frequency. If you want to answer in a different way, not directly related to the question, you could use something. I like to use the most. For streaming, comma, I prefer to use. So the spaces here, will we just put your streamer, your preferred streamer? I like to use YouTube the most, because that's connected to the question being the most. It's not asking what you use, it's asking what you use the most. The third example here, for streaming, I prefer to use, this is talking about your preference. If you have a choice, you choose to use Netflix. Maybe it's more convenient or comfortable or easy to access for you. The second question, what show or song would you recommend to a new friend? I've got this on separate note paper this time because my printer broke, because all printers are rubbish and they're the most commonly broken down electrical appliance, I think. What show or song would you recommend to a friend? Again, throughout the English book, this is about improving communication with your friends and making new friends. So you want to recommend a TV show or a song. You can easily change this to a book or a recipe for cooking or a hobby, right? These sentences are applicable for all types of interests. Would you? This is a hypothetical, so it's a future question that you would ask a friend if you had an opportunity or a chance to. Use I again. I would recommend to a friend. This is a what question. It's not asking why, and there's no because, right? Why? Because. The question is not asking that. You can elaborate if you want to. Elaborate, which means to explain further or more. If you wish to elaborate on the question, I would recommend blah 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 to a friend because, and then you would write your reason. Because it was exciting, funny, interesting. So just basic adjectives here to describe the show. I would recommend Friends to a friend because it was funny. Now, Friends is a TV show from the 90s and noughties, but it's still on lots of streaming platforms. So we would change the tense to is because it's still currently easily available and watched by lots of people, especially to learn English and to learn humor and comedy through English. I would recommend Friends to a friend because it is funny. It is a great way to study or learn English. Question 3. Have you ever started watching something just because of a friend's suggestion? So have you ever started watching something just because of a friend's suggestion? A simple answer would be yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I have started watching something just because of a friend's suggestion. Blah, 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 blah. Started watching something just because of a friend's suggestion. That would go here. I'm not going to write it out because it's unnecessary. So, very basic answer. Little bit more detail, directly responding to the question, using the question to answer it with the correct structure. If you want to elaborate, you could tell people which TV show or something that you watched based on a recommendation. So, I watched after a friend recommended it to me. Okay, so I watched The Big Bang Theory. It's another sitcom, American TV sitcom. I watched The Big Bang Theory after a friend recommended it to me. These are all affirmatives or positive reactions. If you want to have a negative reaction, a declining reaction to this question, no, I haven't. No, I have not, right? Have not. Or no, I have never. This is important for the grammar tip because at the question, have you ever? A negative response to that, no, I have never. It seems strange because never and have feel opposite. But when they're used together, again with this part here, it becomes collectively negative, if that helps you remember the reason for this type of expression. No, I have never started watching blah 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 just because of a friend's suggestion. Thank you. Here we are with chapter 4, vocabulary. So I'll go through the list of words, reading their meaning with an example, and where necessary I might give you a different example. See how it goes. Zoom in a bit closer for this then. So the first word is stream. Stream. Can you still see properly? I think so, right? So stream, as a verb, means to watch or listen to media online. So you need an internet connection and you need to watch something as it's downloading or streaming for you. I usually stream movies on Netflix. So Netflix is a good example here. So if your internet connection goes out, Netflix will stop working. So therefore you can't continue watching the movie. So you're receiving a feed, a stream through Netflix, through your internet connection. You need that to be continuous. I usually stream movies on Netflix. Usually, sometimes case by case, about 80%, could be up to 90%. If you want to use always would mean 100%, right? Which means you never use any other streaming options. So I recommend I usually, because most people use 2 or 3, but you tend to have a preference. Netflix tends to be people's go-to streaming service. Binge-worthy. I'm not going to highlight these words because I think it makes it more difficult to read. Binge-worthy. Something is so good, you want to watch it all at once. So if it's binge-worthy, it's worth binging. Worth means value, so it's valuable. To binge means to consume or use lots at the same time. So we talked before about binge. You can have binge eating, drinking. You can also have binge studying, which binge studying is also called cram, to cram or cramming. You're squeezing things into a short time space. This show is totally binge-worthy! Exclamation, because you're using the word totally. Totally binge-worthy. This is a very high compliment. A very good show, totally binge-worthy. It's worth binging. Watch list. A watch list is a list of shows or movies you plan to watch. Watch, list. I added it to my watch list. It meaning the show or movie. You can also use other variations of list. Most people have lots of lists. We talked about a bucket list. We talked about a playlist. You can also have a read list, like a book list. So these are things you plan on doing and you make a list of them. Top tier, top. The opposite is bottom. Top tier, Tier is the level. So the very top tier means the high quality or excellent type of media that you are recommending. So that series has top tier animation. So animation, sometimes called cartoons, animated movies or TV shows, has top tier animation. So lots of children's movies, let's say for example, Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo has top tier animation, very high quality or excellent animation. Recommend. To recommend is to suggest something to someone. I recommend this new album. Usually, I recommend. You might want to use the past tense, in which case you'll use recommend plus ed, recommended. I recommended to my friend. I recommended Project Hail Mary to my friend. I recommended Michael to my friend. The Michael Jackson movie. I think it's called Michael. I haven't seen it yet. Worth the hype. Again, we have that worth, similar to worthy. Worth the hype means as good as people say it is. People is just general population commenting about something. Worth the hype. So the movie was definitely, meaning yes, 100% yes, worth the hype. So this is about expectation. If your expectation of a movie is, let's say, 8 out of 10, if you watch the movie and you think, yeah, it was 8 out of 10, it was worth the hype. If your expectation of a movie is a 10 out of 10, but you go to the movie and actually it's a 6 out of 10 for you, then it's not worth the hype. So worth the hype is about balance. It's a balance between expectation through marketing or promotion and then the end result. So expectation versus result or conclusion. That's what something comes to mean worth the hype. This will be very personal and individual, so it's very subjective. I'll write subjective for you. Very subjective, because everyone has a different impression or opinion about this type of content. Soundtrack, also called like an OST. In class we used background music as well for games and other applications. An OST for the soundtrack of the music from a movie or a game. A game would be background music maybe, or it could be OST as well, if there's some original music in that. The Spider-Verse soundtrack is amazing. So this is also a top tier animation. Right? Trailer. Trailer is a short preview. Pre meaning before view of a movie or show. The trailer got me hyped for the film. Connect the word hyped to this one here. Worth the hype. Got me hyped for the film. For the film. Which means before I saw the movie, before I can see it, I watch a trailer or a preview and I get hyped for the film, for the movie. So the marketing or the promotion will get you excited about the movie that's coming out soon. I am excited about the new Spider-Man movie, but I don't watch trailers because they spoil the movie for me. So I avoid trailers. I'll write that down. I avoid trailers. Trailer, I'm going to draw a really good picture here. This is a car, really, promise it's a car. On the back of the car, sometimes will be a little trailer. Right? I'll get Picasso to sign this later. Car with a trailer. So the car's going that way, so the trailer's behind. In class I explained, if you went to a movie theatre a long time ago, you would watch the movie, and after the movie, they would have little trailers for new movies coming out soon. This was the pattern or the style a long time ago. But now, when the movie finishes, everybody goes home, so they add the trailers beginning of the movie or before the movie starts, along with loads of rubbish adverts and other kind of crap that we don't want to. But we have no choice because we get there on time and then we sit there for 20 minutes listening and watching rubbish before the movie starts. So a trailer still keeps its name. It's an advert or a promotion of a movie. I also talked to you about teaser trailer. Teaser trailers. So you'll have a trailer, could be 30 seconds, could be 1 minute. A teaser trailer might be 5 seconds, could be 10 seconds or 15 seconds. It could be 1 second or 2 seconds. It'd be really teasing to get you more excited. So you have to watch other teaser trailers for it to make sense. Lag. Please practice the sound here with a wide mouth. Lag. That's a delay or slowdown in the stream. If you're streaming something online, a lag will be buffering. It's needing time to catch up. Sometimes it lags in the evening. You might know from 5 p.m. maybe to 10 p.m. Lots of streaming because of demand tends to have some kind of issue, whereas if you watch it in the daytime or very late at night or early hours, your streaming service might be a little bit better. Skip. This chapter is about recommending, so sometimes you might want to skip. That's when you choose not to watch or listen to something. So I think I'll skip that one. Not my style. Not my style, another way of saying it is, it's not my cup of tea. Nice English expression there. It's not my cup of tea. This, again, is a very subjective way of saying no thanks. And it's a very polite way to say, oh, it's not my style. But you're not offending anybody else by saying it. Like, you might like it, but it's not my style, so thank you. All right? Have a good practice with this. Stream, binge-worthy, watch list, top tier, recommend, worth the hype, soundtrack, trailer, lag, skip. Thank you very much. Welcome back to chapter 4. We're going to look at the model dialogue now and then the language focus. I've zoomed in and I hope that you follow along with this. I'm just going to read these expressions. Have you seen The Last of Us yet? It's on HBO Max. HBO Max is a streaming service, and The Last of Us is the name of a TV show. Have you seen The Last of Us yet? It's on HBO Max. Not yet, but I've heard it's amazing. Is it worth the hype? Definitely. If you like The Walking Dead, you'll love it. Cool. I'll add it to my watch list. Any other recommendations? Yeah, check out Arcane on Netflix. The animation is top tier. Nice. I'll give it a shot this weekend. The Walking Dead, Arcane, and Last of Us. These are three very popular TV shows. HBO Max, Netflix are streaming services. Have you seen The Last of Us yet? It's on HBO Max. Not yet, but I've heard it's amazing. Is it worth the hype? Definitely. If you like The Walking Dead, you'll love it. Cool. I'll add it to my watch list. Any other recommendations? Yeah, check out Arcane on Netflix. The animation is top tier. Nice. I'll give it a shot this weekend. Language focus expressions now. You should check out. You should check out. You should check out. You should check out The Walking Dead. I totally recommend Arcane. I totally recommend The Walking Dead. It's worth the hype. It's worth the hype. You should check out. I totally recommend. It's worth the hype. If you wish to accept or decline a recommendation, so these are positives, and a declining negative there. I'll add it to my watch list. Sounds good. I'll give it a shot. I think I'll skip that one. Please notice when you have a positive, accepting comment, the inflection or your tone needs to slightly go up because it's a positive, like a smiley face. If you want to reject or decline, your tone will go down, like a sad face. I'll add it to my watch list. Sounds good. I'll give it a shot. I think I'll skip that one. Welcome back to Chapter 4. This is Part 4. Here we will go through the practice activities from the booklet. I will use extra paper to fill in answers and give you example sentences where necessary, and others I will write on the paper here. Okay, so we have number 1, fill in the blank. I added that movie to my... If you add something, you're going to add it to a kind of list. So you have movie, you add it to a watch list. Well done. Question 2. Have there been movies you wish you had skipped? Why? There are 2 parts to this question. Answer the question here, and you need to elaborate and explain why. Because. Have there been movies you wish you had skipped, and why? So we'll look at the first part here. We can answer either in a positive or a negative or a I don't remember actually, because it's possible. A positive response, have there been movies? Yes. There have been movies. Not you, but I, because you're talking, wish I had skipped. If you finish the sentence here, it's okay, but you haven't answered the second part of the question. You also haven't given any details about which movie it was. You're not being asked in the question, but you might want to say or give an example. So instead of a period or full stop here, we can extend the sentence. Yes, there have been movies I wish I had skipped, such as, and then you can do this one and this one. Instead of because, to answer the why part, we'll start the sentence with both movies were something. As an example, boring. Okay, both means 1, 2. 1, 2. I'll give an example, not my opinion. I'll just think of movies that you'll know. Yes, there have been movies I wish I had skipped, such as Titanic and Avatar. Examples, I do like these movies actually. This is an example. Both movies were too long. So, not boring, but they could be too long. Right? You might also want to say both movies were not worth the hype. Again, these are example movies. You can add in whatever ones you think you wish you had skipped. If you want to give a negative response to this question, have there been movies you wish you had skipped? No. I have to move this up a little bit. So the negative form would be no, there haven't been any movies I wish, or you can't see, I wish I had skipped. So the same like a positive, movies I wish I had skipped, any movies I wish I had skipped. Okay, and if you wanted to just do this, this is the kind of question, or the answer to a question where you don't really want to think about it, can't bother to answer perhaps, so you just go, yeah, maybe, but I can't think of one, right? One right now. So this might be a way of you just getting out of the question by saying, yeah, maybe, but I can't think of one right now. Okay, thank you. Question 3, write 2 sentences using recommend and top tier. Some more paper. I highly recommend the, let's say, animation. Let's use Arcane as the example. Arcane. I'll make 2 sentences. It's animation is top tier. Okay, that's 2 sentences, 1, 2 words, right? If you want to make extra or additional ones, you can do that. Comment below. Question 4. Pair work. Recommend a show to your partner and explain why it's binge-worthy. So, if something is binge-worthy, It's worth binging. So we'll call these people A and B again. We'll keep it very simple. I recommend because it's really thrilling. It's certainly binge-worthy. Wow. Thank you. Thanks for the information. I think that's a bit more natural. Okay, so I recommend Seinfeld because it's really thrilling. It's certainly binge-worthy. Wow, thanks for the information. It sounds a bit weird if you're just saying, yeah, thank you. So you need to add a little bit more to this. Wow, thanks for the information. I'll add it to my watch list, right? I'm pausing to think and also to give you a chance to think of what would come next or what you could put in here. Question 5. Create your own watch list of 5 shows or movies. You don't need to worry about describing them, but what we could do in the comments of this video, if you list in one comment 5 shows or movies that you recommend. So in the comments you would write, I recommend 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll see what happens. We'll restart this part of the video. So with question 6, write a short dialogue. One person recommends a show and the other accepts or politely declines. Here's one I've prepared earlier. Beautiful blue handwriting. Have you been watching Shrinking? It's the name of a TV show, drama. Have you been watching Shrinking? I haven't. Is it any good? Absolutely. I recommend you add it to your watch list. Thanks for that. I'll add it and start watching soon. This is a positive reaction. We want to also practice negative reactions, but in a slightly different way. So you're going to decline, but politely, and this is how you could do that. So we'll have the same beginning. Have you been watching Shrinking? I haven't. Is it any good? Absolutely. I recommend you add it to your watch list. The negative response is, I don't really have much time these days. Well, why not just add it to your list and then maybe watch it when you have enough time? Well, that sounds good. Thanks. So you've given a reason that you're quite busy, right? You don't have much time. That's a polite declining. But your friend's sort of pushing it on you a little bit. Maybe they want to talk about it with you, so they'd really appreciate it if you did watch the TV show when you have time. So it's good at that point just to say, okay, that sounds good. Thanks. Question 7. Use the word soundtrack in a sentence about a movie you like. So, soundtrack. I like listening to movie soundtracks is a basic sentence. And if you want to talk about a specific movie, you might say my favorite movie soundtrack movie soundtrack is from, let's just use Titanic as a famous example. My favorite movie soundtrack is from Titanic. So you like all the music within that movie. That's all of the music in the movie soundtrack. The soundtrack to The Sound of Music is my favorite movie soundtrack. This was suggested during our class, and it's a type of tongue twister to some extent. A tongue twister, your tongue in your mouth, the tongue twisting means a difficult phonetic or alliterative sentence. If that's a correct way to describe it. So it's a difficult sentence to read because of the similar words and sounds. So I will try to read this quickly, and then maybe you want to try and copy or follow along. The soundtrack to The Sound of Music is my favorite movie soundtrack. So if you did that, to make it a tongue twister, you would read that 3 times really quickly and see how you get on. I'll try it, but I don't think I can do it. The soundtrack to The Sound of Music is my favorite movie soundtrack. The soundtrack to The Sound of Music is my favorite movie soundtrack. The soundtrack to The Sound of Music is my favorite movie soundtrack. Not perfect. I'll give myself 84% and a B-. See how you can do. A different question, as a bonus question, what is your favorite movie or TV theme tune? Now, a theme tune is played at the beginning of a show or movie, right? Like the intro. Ooh. It's the intro music. A famous example might be 007. 007 has an iconic theme tune which plays at the beginning of every movie, slight variations. Marvel also do the same with their MCU. They have the Marvel Studios intro plays, and it plays either at the very beginning or it plays shortly after the movie starts, and that becomes recognizable part of their brand. A similar word is anthem. It's another bonus word. An anthem, you might recognize it from a national anthem. So every country has a national anthem. And this is music played to evoke pride or a sense of collective community and emotion. Question 8, true or false? A trailer is the full movie. Is it the full movie? T or F? F. It's not the full movie. A trailer might be from 10 seconds, it could be 60 seconds. There are longer trailers as well, and as we remember, there are also teaser trailers. Teaser trailers might be like 5 seconds. Really like just a sound or a noise or a color. Super quick, just to train your brain to get ready and excited for the movie coming up. It could be a TV show as well. Number 9, it's just your own personal study. Translate worth the hype into your native language. If something is worth the hype, you remember it means the excitement before matches the result feeling. Number 10, discuss what makes a show binge-worthy for you and try to use lots of vocabulary words. I've prepared a selection of vocabulary words that I like to think of as making a show or something binge-worthy. Surprising. I don't want anything to be boring. If the story's plain or dull, not surprising, it doesn't make me want to watch it much longer. High stakes. So high stakes is like it has importance or significance within the drama or movie. There are, like, the story and the characters have lots to lose, so it's exciting for that reason. Like, there is importance on the story rather than just something that's silly and insignificant. Well written characters, that's really important for me for a binge-worthy show. If the characters are kind of shallow, which is a negative word in terms of their depth, they don't have many details, there's no explanations for why they act or behave in the way they do. You'd need details, but well-written details. Compelling. To compel is to focus, right? To get someone's attention. So I want something to be compelling. I want to give it my focus constantly. I can't move away or look away because it's so exciting and gripping. I like there to be an emotional connection for something that's binge-worthy. Emotional, it can be anything from comedy or romance or action and thrillers. If it has an emotional connection, you're attached to the characters and you feel something. So you are more likely to want to keep watching. The same with thrilling and cliffhangers. Oh, this didn't have a conclusion. What happens next? What happens next? So if it has a cliffhanger at the end of every episode, although that can be frustrating, it does make a show binge-worthy because you want that outcome now. You need it now. And pacing. I think I've talked about pacing in class regarding some dramas or movies. The pacing is important, that the story moves at a speed, it progresses at a speed that you're happy with. Some stories can be too slow. Some movies take 30 minutes to get going, and that can be frustrating. It makes it less binge-worthy. So a couple of sentences. For me, binge-worthy shows are thrilling, surprising. We're going to use something ing because we're describing the shows, so we want to use an adjective here. This type of structure, a show is binge-worthy when, and you need more details here. Let's say, for example, pacing. It has good pacing when the characters are well written. When it has high stakes. Okay. I suggest in the comments below you could use these two sample structures. You could use my words if you wish, or just your own ideas, and comment below. I appreciate you as always. Thank you. Hello there. Here we have chapter 4, the final part, so part 5. You have a real world challenge in the notebook, right? So you're supposed to ask 2 friends for a show, movie, or music recommendation this week, and try to use vocabulary when you reply to them. You can practice online, finding friends, or you can practice in our chat group. You can comment on the videos below. Just try to increase the opportunities you have to speak English with other people, please. In English-speaking countries, it's common to bond by swapping recommendations, especially for shows or music. Saying, "I'll add it to my watch list," is a polite way to show interest, even if you're not sure you'll watch it. This is important. It's just polite to say that you'll add it to my watch list. You don't have to watch it. It's a plan to watch it, but you don't have to. but it's polite to say that you're going to add it to your watch list. Everybody appreciates we don't always have time to watch everything everybody recommends. What's a watch list? What's a watch list? A watch list, different kind of pencil, is a list of, let's say, films you plan on watching one day. Okay? An FBI watch list. There is also an FBI watch list. I think that'd be quite funny. FBI watch list is a watch list of people that the FBI are watching in case they do something or plan something bad. It's a different kind of watch list, but there are lots of watch lists. Question 2. What does binge-worthy mean? Now, extra paper again. Binge-worthy means something is worth binging. So binge-worthy really means something is worth binging, which also means it's appealing or exciting to consume over a short period of time. Binge drinking or eating. You drink lots or eat lots over a short period of time and you get satisfaction or enjoyment from doing that. If you binge something, you watch many episodes at once or within a short period of time. Complete the sentence. This new show is totally... Ta-da! It's really obvious, isn't it? Binge-worthy. Translate recommend into your language. Could be your native language, by the way. Could be translate into a different language if you want. No one minds. Question 5. What's a soundtrack? Guess what? More paper! What's a soundtrack? Well, a soundtrack, again, we're practicing how to answer these questions properly. A soundtrack is... Right, you got it? A soundtrack is the music from a movie. Could also be music from a TV show or something else. Similar words I like to introduce to you here include theme tune or theme song and anthem. They're different to soundtrack, but similar in some ways. A theme tune is used to identify, so it identifies a show or a movie. Theme song. So, for example, at the beginning of a program or a drama, there'll be the same music that plays that you recognize, like a logo or a slogan of a company, music for TV and film. An example that comes to mind for me is 007. It has lots of iconic music. It has an iconic theme tune, has different theme songs for each movie, but it also has similarities in the music for each soundtrack throughout those movies. So different ways of identifying a movie on different levels. Anthem. This this is music or a tune. You could have a national anthem, which is the country's song or a country's song. You identify with that country. You could have a group or a team anthem as well. A particular sports group or a sports team or a community group might have their own local music that they play to get people motivated or make them feel some kind of pride. So an anthem is more about collectivity and perhaps pride as well. A theme tune is really just marketing and business to get you to think about something when you hear that noise. For a bonus thing, comment below with what is your favorite theme song or what is your favorite theme tune. Lovely if you comment, please. You don't have to though. Question 6, write a polite way to accept a recommendation. Here's one I prepared earlier. Write a polite way to accept a recommendation. That sounds good. I'll add it to my watch list. I'll give it a shot. Cheers for that. I was looking for something new to watch. New to start watching. Let's do that. This is a natural, and I'll explain this a little bit. Cheers means thank you. Cheers for that. I was looking for something new to start watching. If you start watching something, it implies it's a kind of drama or TV show, right? And the reason it implies that is because you're going to start watching it, so it's going to continue. A movie you tend to watch in one go, so you're not going to start watching some movie, you will watch a movie. But a drama or a TV show that comes out periodically or weekly, you'll start watching it over time. So this is a good way to positively respond to that. Question 7. Name one platform where you can stream movies. Yep. Well, you can stream movies on. I'll add some different words for you here. We've got Apple TV. We'll have Disney Plus. You have, which we've talked about before, Netflix, and then two that you might not really be familiar with, Prime Video, and then Hulu. We talked about HBO Max, but we won't include that here. So these are different streamers. You can stream movies on these platforms and others if you wish. What's the purpose of a trailer? Wow. There's lots of purposes for a trailer. And we're talking about movie trailer, not carrying your camping stuff. So it's to promote. It's to promote a film or a TV show, right? It's promotion. It's marketing. Yeah. It gets people excited. It gets people interested. It builds excitement, or it builds attention. Attention. Builds attention. And it builds a hype one of our keywords there. So if you answer in a sentence from the question, the purpose of a trailer is, right? The purpose is to, sometimes we need to have used to, build hype. And promote a new movie. Now it's not builds, it's build hype, because we've got the to form of that verb there. So to build, it's not to builds. Builds hype, S is okay here, but when we use to before the verb, when it's the to form, we use, there's no S in this example. Almost finished. So use top tier in a sentence. Many people means not everyone, but lots of people, many people. Consider. Consider means think, but it's a better word to use here, much better. Many people consider Avatar as a top tier animation. Yep. Movie. It's a kind of animation. It's CGI, right? It's CGI. So you could use this as a sample sentence to form your own answers. And finally, question 10, why do people share recommendations with friends? Well, you really just have to think about what you do with your friends. So why do you share recommendation with your friends? Well, to make conversation. Yeah, we do this to make conversation, otherwise you have nothing to talk about with people. You do it to update your friends on what you're doing and what you're watching. You do it to share opinions. You want to recommend something so you can share your opinion about something. You like to talk together. Right? We share recommendations so we can talk together. You also share recommendations so that you can get recommendations as well. Right? I share recommendations with my friends and they share them with me. So I like to recommend because I know that I'll get other recommendations back. Right? And then we can just do the simple stuff like to be kind or fun. Right? It's good to recommend because it's nice. You watched a good movie and you want to recommend it to your friend. So you show interest in your friends and other people. Oh, I watched a good movie recently. I think you might like it because we're friends and I pay attention to you. So I think you'll like this movie. Thank you very much. This was chapter 4. Well done. It was really quite fun. So we'll see you in chapter 5. Thank you all.